Welcome to the Badass Babe Manifest podcast. The vibe here is how to manifest in a simple and fun way, implementing my abundance DNA method without the bullshit, overcomplicated hacks or fluff. I'm your host, Kelly Pender, your spiritual manifestation coach, and together we're going to uncover your unique abundance frequency, step into who the fuck you are unapologetically, and remove the limitation caps as well as playing it small to open yourself the F up to the unlimited abundance, success, and money to easily flow into your life and or business. Let's manifest that shit. Hello, my love. Welcome back to another episode of the Badass Babe Manifest podcast. We have Anne Bartolucci on the pod, who is a best-selling author and sleep psychologist. And let me tell you, she broke free from playing it small, keeping herself in this box of the title, the label of psychologist. And this is when her and I crossed paths. And this is when she came into Manifest That Shit University. And I remember saying to her, which you'll hear in this episode, I remember saying to her, girl, you are not just a psychologist. You are more than you can even imagine. And so we tapped into who the fuck she truly is and who she came here to be. And she implemented the abundance DNA method, neural energetic encoding to break free from old lack neural pathways, keeping her safe, what her subconscious knew to be safe at the time, keeping her where she was. And from here, she has expanded so much. And on this super special episode, we are diving into how to go from playing small to becoming a published author, and how writing a book is the ultimate act of rebellion, which you will fully understand in this episode. And Anne helps us to tap into the universal nudges, how to get unstuck, to embrace your divine feminine. She walks us through the writing journey, how to form a writing habit, and most importantly, how you are worthy of being heard. And before we dive into this episode, this is your invitation to book your free abundance manifestation audit with me. This is where I am revealing your blind spots and giving you personal feedback to implement so you can manifest 10 times more quickly. All you have to do is DM me the word audit, and we can do this in the DMs, or we can set up a call. This audit is going to blow your mind and change the entire trajectory of your life and business. I cannot even wait. And without further ado, let's dive into this sacred episode with Anne. Yes, Anne, welcome. Thank you so much for being a guest on the podcast today. I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you so much, Kelly. I'm really excited to be here.
Yes. Okay. This is going to be amazing. So for those who are listening, Anne has been through Manifest That Shit University, and she'll talk about how she came into my work and world. And I remember when you said to me, you know that you're meant for more, you know where you're meant to go, but you were saying, I feel like I'm just a psychologist and I just have to keep myself here. And so we started to reprogram and rewire and break free. And now I would love to hear from you, because we always like to activate everyone's soul purpose and soul mission. So I would love to hear from you, your story of how you began to break free and how you open up your own program and offering to help us become published authors, which is beautiful.
Thank you. Yes. And it's funny to hear you say just a psychologist, because this is one of those professions that so many people think they want to go into. And it's, getting into a PhD clinical psychology program is harder to get into than medical school. And so I've always had this pressure of, you're doing this thing that so many other people want to do. And don't get me wrong, I love doing it. I love my private practice. But my passion has always been writing. I've been writing since I was a kid. My mom, according to my mother, I wrote my first story when I was 2 years old.
Oh.
I have not actually seen evidence of this, but apparently what it lacked in plot and character development, it more than made up for in enthusiasm. Apparently it was about a buddy. And so I've always written fiction has been my first love. Nonfiction is my second love. And so I always did it like along with being a psychologist.
Mm.
So at this point, I have 17 novels, 4 novellas out as my pen name, Cecilia Dominic, and then 2 nonfiction books out as me.
Mm.
And yes, and a few years ago, I got this opportunity to teach other mental health professionals how to write. And that I felt was the universe dropping me into this place of, you are a great writer and you are also supposed to help other people be writers and get their stories and help people get their stories out in the world and help other people to benefit from them rather than just the one person at a time model in the therapy room. So I Psych Up Academy was out of that. But yeah, when we started working together, I was in this stuck place of, wow, I really enjoy writing coaching. For me, it feels like play. Like
Yeah.
I love the creative back and forth. I seem to have a talent for helping people to like see their book or to like, I can see the shape of a book and help people to get there.
Mm.
And I can also help people figure out what publishing path to do because I've done both traditional and independent publishing.
Yes.
But I was stuck because it was like, but I'm a psychologist. And people, I think one of the things I actually said in Manifest That Shit University was, what are people going to think? They're going to be like, but why don't you want to help people? Why
Yeah.
don't you want to continue being a psychologist? Because not only am I a psychologist, I'm a sleep psychologist, which is such a high demand specialty for people to find. I mean, we're like the unicorns of the sleep medicine world.
Love it. I love it. Yes. Okay. So tell me what that experience was like for you when you were stuck. And I really want to highlight this because I cannot tell you how many women I work with who, when they come to me, they're like, Kelly, I feel stuck. Right. And so
Mm-hmm.
stuck in the logic world just looks like we're not
Mm-hmm.
moving forward. But there's also like a stuckness in the spiritual world, and there's a stuckness in the quantum world. And so I would love to
Mm-hmm.
hear how you began to get unstuck and to break free from this box that you were in.
Yeah, totally. So I'm trying to think. I think I originally found you because I was looking for witchy podcasts
Yeah.
or podcasts that witches would go for because yes, that has been my spiritual journey for the past couple 3 years is shifting from Catholicism to paganism, which is really not a big jump as people will tell you.
Yep.
But yes, really embracing the divine feminine and finding myself in that and through that embracing my own divinity, my own divine spark. And so I found you and I listened to an episode and I was like, who in the world is this person? And like, wow, she's really over the top, but she's also really sweet and funny, I can tell, but wow, is she over the top?
I love it. This is why I say I don't believe in being too much. That's me.
Yes, no, absolutely. And I mean, I'm first house Pluto. I get it. I'm all about the intensity as well. And so, yeah, I was like, who is this person? So, yeah, I listened to the pod and then I think I bought one of your courses. You had it on a special and started listening to that. And so then when you opened basically your beta for Manifest That Shit University, I was like, okay, let me jump in and see what this is like. Because, yeah, being stuck felt like, okay, I know I want to move forward. I don't know how I'm going to move forward because, a lot of times people feel like the block is in front of them, whereas I felt like the block was behind me, holding me back.
Yes. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Okay. I like how I'm like feeling into what you said there because I don't know if I've heard you say that before with where the
Mhm.
block was placed. And I like that you said that. Um, because I always say like a lot of us are trying to create from a past version of us, like a past identity. And I like how you said my
Mhm.
block was holding me back, right? So,
Mhm.
um, that's so interesting. Yeah, and I'd love to hear about your experience that we did together of where that quote unquote block came from and how you uncovered the root and how
Mhm.
you removed it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited to hear because it's been a bit since I heard this story of how we did the neural energetic encoding.
Yes. So I believe that's is that like in module 1 of
Yeah.
MTSU?
Yep.
And this actually came up not necessarily from me looking at this situation specifically, but if you'll recall, I had brought a bunch of stuff to a clothing consignment store and they hadn't wanted anything. And I had such an extreme emotional reaction to this.
Yes, I remember
It
now.
was, I was like, what in the world? And so, yeah, I remember because I got the optional Voxer edition. And so I was like Voxering with you and Tessa and a couple of the others at the gym. And you're like, you might need to dig into this. So I dug in. And, and part of me holding myself back was, definitely fear of being told no. And I've always had this like big negative visceral reaction to being told no. Even to small things. And I remember my husband pointing this out to me early in our marriage. He's like, you really don't do well with no, do you? I'm like, nope. So we went through it. And part of this process, this is so interesting. It's kind of like past life regression, but more straightforward,
Mhm.
basically. And so it's like, okay, travel along to this path and okay, find your stuck point. And for me, this is still so strange to me. It was my birth experience because
Crazy.
you've had kids. Every woman, I think, goes into their birth experience with this ideal in mind. And it was very much not my mother's ideal for what happened. Like they had to use forceps because this was like back in the dark ages when they were doing that. Like basically I should have been a C-section and I wasn't.
Right.
And and there were a couple of other things and that and then hearing her tell the story of my birth, I think caused me to feel this innate unworthiness, this innate feeling of being flawed and not enough. And as you can see, my emotional support animal is here
Yeah.
because he can tell I'm having some big feelings talking about this.
Yeah.
Yes, if anybody hears a meow, that's my supervisor. You know, every good witch has a cat.
That's right. We
Or
welcome them
dog.
in. Mhm.
Yes. So once I cleared that, it was like this weight was lifted and it opened up that I felt like I was able to take a lot more risk and move forward a lot more confidently because I knew that I could handle things. Like
Yeah.
I had had an experience where I tried to do an online workshop in August of last year, and I didn't realize when I set the date that it was the day that Mercury went retrograde.
Hmm.
And holy shit, did it go retrograde on me? And it was like major tech issues. Like I had had like 24 people signed up. It's like couldn't get them in. Like two finally made it to the workshop, and it was a disaster.
Yeah.
And then when I tried to give it again in the fall, like nobody showed up.
Mm.
So I was kind of sitting in that space.
Yep.
And that's also how I was set because, like, well, what's the point? Nobody's going to show up anyway.
Yes.
But then working with you and working through some of this stuff, it really helped me to get through it.
I love that. Was that what your subconscious revealed to you after you found the root at birth and processed those feelings and emotions? Was it that your subconscious revealed to you, like, you can get through anything? Or was it, this isn't yours to carry? Do you remember exactly what it was in that moment that you learned?
I think it was more in terms of, and I did journal about this, but I don't remember what it was. I think it was more in terms of, yeah, this isn't yours to carry.
Yeah. Yes. I remember when you shared that with us, I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Because with, many, many clients that I've worked with, I know that we go to in the womb 0 to 7, but you were my first who had an experience at birth, which was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, this is so wild. Right? Like what our
Yeah.
subconscious attaches meaning to and pulls in limiting decisions
Mhm.
and beliefs from that moment. And I think it's so beautiful that you let yourself go there to the root and cleared it out, right?
Yes. So it's really interesting because I recently found out, and I'm not going to say who because it's their story, but I've recently found out that I have a family member who actually has the flash moment memory of the moment right after they were born.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing. I wonder what that memory is like. I'm like just imagining all these different scenarios.
Yeah. No, it's, they remembered the sensations because, of course, it's a pre-verbal memory. And they were like, I think I remember being born. I'm
Wow.
like, wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. But yeah, like that goes to show you that everything is stored in your subconscious mind, right? It's
Mhm.
all about just accessing it, which is interesting because most people think accessing your subconscious is like this huge traumatic event that it takes like so long to get to. And in your experience, do you feel that you access that moment in like a short amount of time?
Mhm. Yeah, it was with whatever your meditation is, and that's like what, 15 minutes?
Yeah. Yes. If that. Yeah. Yeah, what you were
Yep.
saying with the past life regression, but more direct. That's the neural energetic encoding
Yeah.
to take you back there. Yeah. And I'm asking you that because, like I said, most people are like, oh my God, this is going to take me so long and it's going to be terrible. And it's like, it's not. It's not. And your subconscious immediately is like, hey, you process those emotions. You saw what you've been carrying. Boop, reprogram,
Yep.
rewrite the script.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that so much. Okay. So, what happened next then with maybe becoming more aware of where you've been playing small in your
Mhm.
career? And tell me what happened next, where you went next.
Okay, so the thing that's coming to mind about where I went next is that I realized that I do have some talents beyond the I guess beyond the, shall we say, the mundane world. Like, as I did with you, I can tell what gender somebody's baby is when they're pregnant.
Yes, I know. On a guest. Yeah, because I was pregnant with Frankie during the program, the first round. And you
Mhm.
just were like, I remember it was the end of the call. You were like, I'm just feeling feminine energy. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna hold on to that.
Mhm. Yeah, because everybody was telling you it was a boy.
Yes, yes, you were the only one who said that. I loved it. She knew. She knew.
Yep.
I love
And
it.
I have been 100% accurate since as well. So, yeah,
Mhm.
it was, and I think it is applicable because part of that is opening myself up to, okay, there is a bigger picture. There is more going on. I cannot necessarily see all of the steps in front of me, but that's okay.
Yes. Mm.
And after that, I found a business coach that I've been working with who is just absolutely perfect with me. And she's very much in the woo woo world as well. I'll have to introduce you guys because you guys would get along great. And so, yeah, I've been working on building Psych Up Academy
Mhm.
and have been like, so since then, I've been doing challenges. They were twice yearly. This year, I'm going to do them quarterly, the Start Your Book Challenge. I've got one going on right now. I've been doing free workshops, connecting with people, putting myself out there as and I'm not saying writing coach, because with the amount of experience that I have, and also with me being a psychologist, I feel like that's not the right term for me. I'm calling myself a writing mentor and guide.
I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that feels
Because,
really
yeah, because
potent. That feels like you.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. Because, yeah, I see a coach as being somebody who pushes,
Mm,
and a writing mentor guide is somebody who puts your arm around and guides you along the way.
I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Okay. So you're doing the challenges. And so
Mhm.
tell me more about Psych Up Academy, because I remember when we first started working together, this was like a little, like the seed was planted, right? And we were
Mhm.
talking about it and we were talking about it. And then you just went for it. I remember there was a podcast that was birthed in there as well. I'm having memories of like you all
Yep.
of a sudden just open up this box and these just channels came in of like offerings and podcasts to be birthed into the world. So
Mhm.
just tell me all about this. I'm just so excited about everything that you've created.
Oh, thank you. Yes. So I tell people that I accidentally started a podcast because it totally did mean it for it to happen. But yes, my friend, he on the podcast he goes as Gra, and I'm Cecilia on there, my author pen name, because it's really more aligned with my fiction than my nonfiction. But he's a druid and I'm a witch. We kind of got on our paths about the same time, and so we talk about these different things from our different perspectives, and it's just been so much fun.
Mm,
And so far, people have been loving it
yes. Yes.
because
Because,
we've got a good dynamic too.
oh, I know. I love it so much. And when you say so far people have been loving it, I'm like, yes, of course they have. Because when you have like accepted, and again, I'm just like talking to, I'm like remembering all of these breakthroughs and aha moments. I remember when you were like, I'm a witch, like I'm spiritual, I'm woo woo. And I was like, let's
Mhm.
see more of her. Like, let's let her come through. And so as you have, accepted all of you and let yourself be expressed in the truth and potency of who you are, it's like, to me, I'm like, well, duh, of course people are loving your podcast because you're being all of you. And that gives others permission to be all of them, which is so needed.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. I love that you put it that way.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Psych Up Academy has gradually been growing with people finding me and joining my consultation groups. We also have co-writing. So basically, it's a very supportive container for people who are writing their books.
Mm.
And I am in October taking the next big step and offering an 8-week guided cohort program.
Hey. So tell me what we will learn during this program and the outcome. Because I'm like, are we speaking to me? I don't know.
I did have you in mind when I was putting this together, because it's like, yeah, she needs to write her book.
I
It's
know you've
like,
said that to me. And see, right now I'm like, I don't know. I feel a little coachy energy because you're pushing me out of my comfort zone, which is what I need. And it's not a push, it's
mhm,
an invitation.
exactly. Yes, because you and I are both projectors, so we wait for the invitation.
Yes. Oh God, there it was. It was right here.
Yep.
Oh my God, I love that. Okay, so tell me the 8-week setup of this program and the outcome. So for those who are listening, maybe like, this is for me. It's my time. I'm ready to become a published author.
Yes. All right. It's called Your Sacred Expression. And as we were talking about before the call, this title just fell out of my head this morning when I was getting ready to meditate. I wasn't even in meditation yet. It was like just boop, there it was.
I was ready.
And yes, what we're going to do is first set a foundation of connecting your writing to your values so that you are, well, motivated to keep going, because the writing journey does have its bumps, it does have its twists and curves. And so we need to have an anchor that we can always come back to.
Hmm.
And then we are going to help you connect with your favorite fairy tales or myths and use those as inspiration for your book structure. So you're not necessarily going to be doing like a myth retelling, but just looking at these things because they have classic structures that resonate. And if that structure is in there, then it's going to resonate with readers as well, because we've all grown up with Once Upon a Time,
Yes.
or Pandora opening the box, and these lessons that we learn. And when you're writing a book, you are teaching lessons without being preachy, hopefully.
Yes.
And then we will go into, yes, book positioning in the market so that there will be a place for your book when you publish it. So there will be readers who want to read your book, who need to read your book.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also going to help you get into a writing habit. And so this is where my strengths as a psychologist comes in, because I'm really good at helping people figure out what behaviors work for them. And part of my journey over the past couple of years has also been being diagnosed with ADHD,
Mm-hmm.
which was definitely a series of light bulb moments, including, oh, this is why these people with these very strict do A, B, C, D, and E to write your book programs don't work for me, because I don't have a neurotypical brain.
Right.
And so I teach people to find their own writing processes, to figure out how to set goals in ways that will make them want to continue working to meet them. And so by the end of this program, you'll have a book outline, you'll have a marketing plan, a first chapter, and a writing habit, or, at the minimum, the knowledge that you'd need to create a writing habit, because I do acknowledge that we're going to be ending this right as the holidays are getting going.
Right.
So it's maybe something that people are going to need to, tuck in their back pocket until after the holiday craziness.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're planning on being a traditionally published author, so going to agents and publishers, this is going to be the core of your book proposal. And so you'll just need a couple more chapters and whatever else the publisher or agent wants. And, they'll have slightly different requirements, but this is going to be the nucleus of it. And if independent publishing is kind of more your jam,
Mm-hmm.
then you're going to have this brilliant roadmap that you're going to take going forward.
Mm.
And either way, you're going to have a habit. And we're also going to talk about how to write your book and bring that into your social media posts, whether it's LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever it is that you use, so that you can develop them both together to start building your audience.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay.
Thank you. I know, it's like I get tingly talking about it. Like, I'm so excited about it.
I know, I'm so excited too. So tell me if this is for those who are already writing a book, desire to write a book, and or feel like writing a book is in their near future, or all of the above.
I would say all of the above. And so for the people who are already writing a book,
Mm-hmm.
it can benefit them by having that marketing plan and that outline,
Mm-hmm.
and also the connecting to the values, because that will help them to make the process more of a personal development process, which, I mean, that's basically my underlying core desire, is that people write these books as the ultimate act of self-compassion and rebellion,
Yes.
because, the world needs more books from people like us.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. I want to
Yep.
hear more about that piece, because I'm like, you're
Mhm.
speaking my love language, girlfriend. Like, I love rebellion. I love going against the
Mhm.
grain. I love being like, your message, your voice needs to be heard. I say this
Mhm.
and I want to hear your expertise on that. Because right now for me, and you've said it, like, there's a book in you, and I'm like, what is there? Like, fear is coming up, right?
Right.
So I would
Yeah.
love to hear your expertise on the fear, the imposter syndrome, the self-doubt to write a book.
Mhm. Yeah. So the thing that comes to mind is, first, is that, those of us who are brought up in fairly traditional religions, there was some element of, if you talk about the good things that you've done, then you're kind of taken away from the balance on the scales in the world to come.
Yeah.
And so putting yourself out there and acknowledging your greatness and your expertise and the good things that you have done is going to come back and bite you later. And whether you're brought up in religion or not, I think this all comes back to us, especially as women.
Yes.
Because, I mean, let's be honest, we have this multi-generational historical trauma
Mhm.
of all sorts of horrible things happening to women who dared to be independent, who dared to speak out.
Mhm.
And we all have that internalized. Maybe it's on a cellular level, maybe it's on a DNA level, it's at the very least on a spiritual level.
Yeah.
And so writing a book is the ultimate act of rebellion, because we're saying, no, we do deserve to be heard. Our voices are needed. And it's putting forth that like our voices are needed and we're not doing it just for us, although we are going to get benefits. Our voices are needed so that, like you said, you can help other women
Mhm.
to have their voices heard, to feel the courage to speak up and to be their authentic selves. Because, you know, let's be honest, even if you don't write a book, as long as you're showing up in the world as your authentic self and not as the self that should fit in the Barbie box with, the plastic around your throat,
Yes.
you know, that, my friends, is the ultimate act of rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
And so taking that even further, writing a book, I mean, yeah, you're putting yourself out there to be judged, but
Yeah.
who cares?
Right.
People are going to judge you no matter what you do, so you might as well be doing something that's worth it.
Oh, I'm gonna quote that.
Thank you.
That was fucking it. That was it. Oh, it's so true. Just hearing that from you, from, someone who has written many books and published them. It's like, because for us, so much fear comes up. And I know, like, I can just hear this from our listeners. It's like, well, there's already so many books out there. What would make
Mhm.
mine different? What would make mine?
Oh, I love this question.
Yes, I want to hear.
Yes, I love this question. Okay. What is one of your favorite topics to read about?
I mean, for me, it's like self-development.
Okay. How many self-development books do you have on your shelves or on your e-reader or
I probably have like 20 plus. I don't know.
okay. Okay, so part of my brain was just like amateur. But yes, so you have like 20.
Oh my God, I love you. I don't know, 30? Who
So
knows?
yeah, yeah. Okay, so yeah, you have all of these books, and I would bet that we all have all kinds of books or several books on the same topic.
Hmm.
And okay, so let's say that maybe anywhere from 40 to 80% of the information in those books overlap, right? Because there's really only so much to say. The thing that helps us to connect with the books is each individual's author's experience and the way that they explain things. Because author A could explain mindfulness in a way that it's like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Whereas author B explains it and you're like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense.
Mm.
And so think about there's so many different brains and spirits out there. Having writing your book helps the people who fit like puzzle pieces with your brain and spirit to really get and understand these concepts. And so, yeah, don't let there being so many books out there on a certain subject deter you. And I mean, and that's one of the things that I do as well is I help people figure out how are they different and how can they position themselves and market themselves so they're coming out and saying, no, I have this new perspective.
Yes. Oh, that's, I just love that. I needed to hear that because it's funny. Like, I just said that to a client today. I'm like, how unique you are, but sometimes you need to hear it from a different perspective, a different brain, a different spirit. And like that just clicked, landed. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel excited about a book being birthed through me at some point
Yay.
in time. Yeah. Like just hearing you say that just activated something within me.
Oh, excellent. Well, and hopefully there's somebody listening as well who's been waffling about it or who hasn't even dared to think they could do it. And now
Right.
they're like, oh, yeah, I
Yes.
totally could.
Yeah, it's like, it's beyond a possibility. It's like, I can do this and I'm
Hmm.
capable, right? Especially with your
Hmm.
guidance and your mentorship. Cause like for me, I'm like, I have no idea how to write a book and I'm sure as hell not going to try to DIY that.
Yeah. It's like, no, I've already done all the things and taken all the classes. You don't have to DIY it.
Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. So for those who are listening and want to write a book and you're DIYing it, don't.
Hmm.
We
Yeah,
got
because
your
there's
guide and
so much
mentor.
information out there.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I can only imagine. Oh, this is amazing. Okay, so I would love to hear just anything that wants to come through from you or channeled through you for those being called to write a book, for those being called to become a published author. Any nuggets
Mhm.
of wisdom that you just would love to share with them?
Remember that anxiety and excitement can feel the same when you've got this layer of societally induced fear on top of it.
Mm.
So perhaps if you are out there and you're thinking about writing a book, or you've been writing and you're stuck and wondering, how the heck am I going to get through this? And you're feeling kind of that, ugh, maybe it's not a signal to stop. Maybe it's, as Kelly talks about, a signal that, okay, you're getting uncomfortable, which means that you're getting ready to grow.
Mhm. Mm. Okay. To grow, to expand. Because
Mm-hmm.
what I'm hearing right now is becoming a published author is an identity shift. It's an up level,
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
right?
Yeah, it's saying I am worthy of being heard.
Mm,
My ideas and words matter, which is why it's an act of self-compassion and self-acceptance. It's like we talk about working on our self-esteem and self-acceptance. Well, this is one way to do it. And, perhaps it's not really a shortcut, but it's a way to accelerate the process.
yeah. Yeah. With guidance and mentorship from
Mm-hmm.
someone who's been there, done that.
Exactly. Yes, I have been the writer. I have been around that writer's block so many times.
Mm,
And so yes, I know how to get through it.
yeah. That is amazing. I am worthy of being heard. When you said that, I was like, ooh, that just sparked some emotion. I love that.
Yeah.
That so many people need to hear that. For those who are listening, I could just like feel some of your emotions being like, oh, you're speaking to my heart chakra. Thank you.
Excellent. Feel that green, baby. Feel that green.
I feel it. Yes. Okay. So, one question I always ask my guests is what makes you feel like a badass babe?
So I have spent so much money with Blessed Be Magic, their jewelry, which I absolutely love it. I'm wearing like, 3 or 4 of their pieces currently. And so, yeah, being out in the world and having like my little witch ring and my pentacle on, it's like, yeah, I am here. I am not afraid to show that I believe in magic.
Yes. Yes. I'm not afraid to show that I believe in magic. Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's amazing.
So yeah, we're gonna bring some of that into your sacred expression as well. As doing some tarot and oracle card stuff. And yeah, it's gonna be so much fun.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, so tell us how we can find you, how we can work with you, how we can join your sacred expression, all the things.
All right, so you can find me. I guess the best place to find me is at this point is on LinkedIn, and I will give you that link.
Yes.
For the show notes, that's kind of where I'm spending most of my time these days. I'm also Psych Up Academy on Instagram. I'm currently working on shifting that from sleep psychology focus to writing focus.
Okay.
Psychupacademy.com is currently under construction. But what I can do is go ahead and Kelly, I'll go ahead and give you my Calendly link for people to schedule a time to talk about whether the accelerator would be a good fit for them.
Yes.
And I also have for your listeners, if you've been thinking, oh, well, I'm really curious about the whole values-based goal setting thing, a link to a workshop replay
Okay.
that people can get. And it's, values-based goal setting for writers, but I mean, it really applies to just about anything.
Perfect. Oh, I love that. I know. I'm like, I want to do that. Okay, cool. Yay. Well, we will put those links in the show notes so those can join your sacred expression and become a published author, break free from your boxes, and stop playing small. And know that it's safe
Yes,
to be seen, it's safe to be heard, and it's safe to be expressed in all of you, all aspects of you.
exactly. Well, thank you so much for having me. This has been so much fun.
Hey, thank you for being here, Anna. I loved this. That was so much freaking fun. If you love this episode as much as I did, please take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram at @the_badassbabe so I can share and celebrate you. And I have a special gratitude gift for you. If you're feeling called, please give us a 5-star rating and write your review on Apple Podcasts. Take a screenshot, submit it. Let me know and I'll send you instant access to my Fuck Yes Money hypnosis as a thank you, and I'll see you in the next episode.